G'day, this is Captainoob, but this is Queen Tested, a video series in Fallout 76 where I take the best legendary weapons in the game and attempt to solo Scorched Earth with them. Today's weapon is going to be a Bloodied Gatling Plasma, 25% faster fire rate and +1 perception, major and minor legendary effects respectively. And I want to make a point with this thing. I want to make a point to show how obscenely overrated legacy Gatling plasmas are in terms of the Queen fighting potential. Sure, they're good in PvP because you don't have to aim, but so are Teslas, right? They're also crap against the Queen, but that's a different can of worms. So, anyways, you'll find with the video length as compared to a BE Gatling plasma, but this one will be a lot shorter, and that is because for some reason the Scorched Beast Queen does not want to bother to take explosive damage. This could either be one of two reasons why. A, Bethesda said, you know what, these explosive weapons are too powerful, let's make the Queen resist them a little bit more so players can't cheese the fight super easily. Or B, the more likely response is that somehow the legendary explosive sort of bugs and just doesn't do the damage that it's supposed to do. You'll find that a lot of the weapons without the explosive bullets will do a lot better. So if I take a Bloodied Firerate minigun, for example, I'd smash the BE minigun's time by probably more than half, like I've done this one. So what makes this thing a lot better than the BE also is the fact that you can shoot it at the ground and it won't fucking kill you. The DPS is there and you don't have to take any of the unnecessary risk of blasting stuff that is too close to you to actually do a lot of damage, which is helpful. And despite boasting the 358 damage, I was hitting the Scorched Beast Queen harder with a Bloodied Firerate 308 shooting, what's that, the LMG. I don't know why the Queen likes to resist energy weapons more. Maybe it's got something to do how this thing is not exactly hit scan, but whatever. Quickly going into the build, same build I've used before. So blocker, all in heavy gun, a little bit of bullet shield so we get resistance whilst firing. Bandolier so we can carry around the ballistic bullets. Not really relevant for this weapon, but relevant for making me able to actually move around. Fireproof, so when she screams at us, does minimal damage. Stabilized and Nerd Rage for damage output. And also accuracy and armor penetration reasons. Pretty helpful if that works. I'm not really sure if it does, but I feel like it may not. Maybe if you look in VATS and have awareness open, you might not see the actual energy resistance drop. I'm not really sure. That could be a reason why I'm not hitting the Queen as hard, but supposedly that's been fixed. I've also got Dodgy for survivability, Action Go to bolster the AP regen so I can do more dodgy damage avoidance, Bloody Mess of course for damage, and One Gun Army for cripple and stagger. We get her stalled pretty early on during the fight and we end up doing a whole lot of damage to her that way, so that's definitely a super useful perk for any Queen Hunter. Just don't use that when there's a bunch of melee dudes around, because they will get mad at you if you cripple her in the air and they can't reach her and they can't exactly jump with marsupial to get her. That's the build. Of course I've got power armor, Strangler Heart with sensing, extra perception there, kind of useless. I've also got emergency protocols and a jetpack as well, because you can have them on your arms, because Bethesda they didn't implement that very well and are calibrated to keep my carry weight nice and up. And then Tesla braces, optimized braces, less power attack AP usage, like I'm be using melee weapons in power armor, right? Anyways, let's get started. Alrighty, we're about a minute from the nuke dropping. Yes, don't forget to actually load your Gatling Plasma. Good old plasma / fusion core glitch. So 251 on the basic ones by the looks, 266, a little bit of adrenaline is showing up there. Might as well just pick a fight with basically everything around, gather adrenaline. It'll last for another minute at this point. Alright, so the non-hit scan nature of this weapon might screw me over in the longer ranges, but if we get into short range combat we should be just fine. The accuracy seems to be pretty good. I haven't used the Gatling Plasma in a while. Don't waste the ultrasight cores like that. You're better off just mag dumping and then reloading when you absolutely have to with these weapons, because you don't want a bunch of empty cores taking up 1 point of space in your inventory. Weird. I could have sworn these things were hit scan, but maybe they fixed whatever nonsense was wrong with these and now they're fine again. Either that or I was always just shooting stuff at super close range and was able to get away with it. But I generally like the idea of the plasma weapons being slightly stronger than whatever the laser weapons there are. Nice teleporting Scorched Beast. but you just have to be better at aiming with them. So I believe I've got the Scorch Beast of the Queen variety, the big one, annoyed. And I'm gonna just get swarmed by dudes. Hello, could I hit you? Okay, I've got the hit in. It's a little bit hard to hit the monsters at range, would you believe? And leading targets might make targeting them like that a little bit difficult. Still haven't seen anything from the Scorch Beast Queen yet. Come on. Plenty of little baby Scorch Beasts wants to play, but nothing. Alright, there's the big girl. How you doing, Barbara? Now you're going to land. Good girl. What I'll do is I'll just hold down the trigger and see what we can do, eh? And luckily for me... And never mind that, I'm just deaf because Nerd Rage is saying, you're about to die. Yes, and despite this thing being not explosive, you'll find that it's a little bit quicker than the explosive variant because you're actually hitting the Queen, and it's not just doing nothing because explosives are just impotent against the Queen. So we're doing pretty good so far. Mag capacity of 307, not too bad at all. We can just sit here and tank this. Would be nice if we were to grab some extra adrenaline. There's our adrenaline right there. So just kill a bunch of these crabs. Don't stop holding down the trigger because you have to spin up the barrel again, which is not good, but also being staggered does not affect the rotary barrel weapons, which is a nice thing because usually when you're in a situation where you get staggered if you're using a non-rotary barrel, it'll stop you from firing, which is a pain in the ass. Now I'll watch my health a little bit here. Alright, she's hit the mutation station. So... we don't have to use a stim pack, we're fine. We'll keep on going. Not terrible accuracy out of this thing, but I feel like I was hitting the thing a little bit harder with other weapons, and I'm just going to make sure I cripple the wing here. Also, I'd like to point out how that came out of her arse. So we're doing 102 damage when we've got full adrenaline, I suppose, which... Oh, that's damage over time right there. Don't let him claw ya. Okay, I don't think he clawed me. I'm just going to watch my health bar. No, we're fine. And yeah, that is why you don't want to stop firing, because if you're not firing or you're spinning up the barrel, she'll stop you if you decide to... Oh, sorry, 106 damage. Get out of here. Yeah, she'll stop you. Oh, and there's a bear. Okie dokie. So there's a couple of things that are bad around here. If you are playing in third person, don't play in third person because the staggers will stop you from firing. But, you know, if you're in a situation where you've got a bunch of things around you want to see around yourself, then that's perfectly valid. But once she gets on the ground... Alright, she's taking a piss. I hate this phase. It is the worst. It'd be nice if she only did 2 of these strikes, and it was at least somewhat dangerous to give you a decent reason to try to avoid these, but it does nothing. So you're just kind of sitting here waiting for it to do something, because you can't really attack her when she's pissed off to the far edges of the map that way, because she's done a massive fucking crop duster attack. It's not fun at all. They need to have a look at that. Or rather, the Queen might be actually canonically dead when Wastelanders comes out and we don't have to actually worry about this anymore. Oh well. Some more goo piles. And whilst we've got the Queen in a position where we can shoot her, we may as well take advantage of that. I'm not sure how well I'm actually doing with the Strangler Heart damage over time effect on her. But we'll just keep on shooting her. Good old stabilize, keeping the hip fire nice and tight. Now what is she going for next? She's trying to figure out what she's going to do. Land. Good girl. Now normally I'd chuck a reload in, but I'm a fan of keeping them... I just like to throw the empty cores out. You want the best ammo to weight ratio when it comes to plasma cores. Okay, she's stalled. This is why you need to learn how to drive stick, Queen. Alright, so I've got a meat pie here, and whilst this fight is going like this, I'm just gonna have a bite. It's a dirty servo pie, but Mum buys the one with cheese in it. Get out of here, Gulper. Well, thanks for the adrenaline. Thanks for showing up. You've been helpful. What else is around? I'm gonna reload again. There's a doggo. Okay, she's unstalled herself. She's put the keys in the ignition, start it again. Looks like we're at full adrenaline now. And this fight's about over. I'd imagine both of their wings and faces crippled thanks to one gun army, so whilst it's not as, you know, dramatically overpowered as something like Enforcer, we can still do a pretty good job with it. And there you have it, Scorched Earth done with a Firerate Gatling Plasma. And despite it having a boasting 488 damage with the Prime Receiver and all of the bloodied buffs, I feel like it's doing less damage. I think we finished off the Queen a little bit quicker. Oh, there's a damage over time thing. What a fucking bastard. Come here, mate. Shit, shit, shit. No, no, no. Stimpack, please. There we go. Almost killed me. You know, it says a lot that a random lobster that shows up from fucking nowhere is more dangerous to you than a Scorched Beast Queen. The harbinger of all death and bad stuff in Appalachia, turning things into zombies, is less of a threat than just some random goddamn lobster. Hey, Bethesda, are you actually gonna patch this game, or are you gonna fuck around until Wastelanders comes out? Probably the latter. Anyways, so there you have it. This pie is actually a bit cold now. It's a shame. I've got parasites too, so I'm glad I finished that fight off before my health dropped from you know, being underfed. But oh, she actually dropped a Gatling Plasma and a pitchfork, which I'll immediately shoving in the script machine. I think you get the idea. Thank you for watching, guys.